Hello, good afternoon. I'm going to make a little update video, although I haven't done much, but the one thing is you can download something now. But as I said, it's not much, and it's pretty much just a snapshot, and it's not actually from what I'm doing, it's just from the debug prototype. Probably doesn't make much sense. I will explain it in more detail in a second. People have asked me to provide sort of the thing I've demonstrated before in videos as a download, which wasn't possible at that point because it was just too difficult to handle, and the user interface was just too bad, and it's still difficult, and the user interface is still quasi non-existent. But I'm going to append a little tutorial explanation video at the end of this, and when you watch that you might be able to do something, within that debug overview program. Also, I've added a little game. I spent a weekend to provide feedback how well you're doing. Your job is to connect a couple of road endings through intersections or interchanges in a way that the most cars can get through the fastest and without stopping much. As I already said, it's not actually of the quote-unquote game, but it's of the debug overview prototype, because the user interface, although you can build roads and intersections and stuff within the 3D interface, it's still much worse than the one in the prototype, and I'm not going to work on it any further unless I'm certain what I need, and the 2D prototype helps me to understand what you want to have in a user interface for 2D. One interesting thing maybe about the actual 3D thingy is that well, there are a couple of bugs obviously. Unfortunately, I've introduced another one in the last build, which is the LAD texture switching that shouldn't happen, and the flickering also shouldn't happen. But anyhow, what you can see is that you can build roads, and what's special is that those roads are not just generated models that are placed on top of the terrain. They're integrated into the terrain itself. The terrain, although it looks like it's just a grid, adopts to cubic spline based roads. I'm not sure if that has been done before, but I do know that neither SimCity nor City Skylines do that, and that's a bit of a shame, because that's the reason why you can't place roads close together in City Skylines, and also a couple of other things that are quite annoying to me result from that limitation. You can see here how nicely that places itself into the landscape. It's actually the grid of the landscape that's formed around the road. And it wouldn't have to be a grid. The landscape does not have to be a grid. It could also be triangles or any arbitrary form. I'm just using grids because that's easier, and it looks a bit like the original SimCity. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to show you the tutorial video now. See you. Okay, this is the short and incomplete tutorial. First you need to start the game. Then you've got that menu. On the left hand side are the levels 1, 2, 3, and the folder icon on the right side of the levels is reloading the last save you made of that level. So I'm going to load the clean level 01. We can scroll around, left, right, up, down. This button is full screen. This button is build a road, and what we have to do is we have to connect those 4 pieces in the most efficient way we can think of. So we're going to, if we click down on any point, it snaps to actual ends of road. So we click down here and we drag over here. We do the same from up here, same from up here, and the same from down here. The next thing is, if we do not release but hit E on the keyboard, we can modify the tangents of the B-cubic spline that form the road. Hit E again, you can modify the other tangent. Hit E again, and you're back to placing the second point of the tangent. So E, E, and release, and now there's a curved road. When you just connect to roads, you'll see that the tangent is automatically placed the way the program thinks it's best, which is not terribly good, but that's not important. So the other two buttons on the right hand side of the road symbol are the number of lanes for the left side of the road and the right side of the road. Like for example this 1, 2, 3 would build us a road with 2 lanes going this way and 3 lanes going this way. Then there's the speed limit sign. Using that will show you what the maximum speed on a piece of road is, and there's this sign which doesn't work in this build. Alright, anyhow, so next thing is we hit start to see how well we have done. The game is currently running on slow. That's the button up in the upper left here. If we hit that with the left mouse button, click it with the left mouse button, speed increases. Now it's 4 times, 8 times. Right mouse button and the speed decreases. Okay, let's see. The game runs, I think, 120 game ticks or till all cars are at their destinations, and it's finished, and we get this report here. It tells us how well we have done, and the score is calculated from the area you have paved, the less the better, how many vehicles were lost, that is vehicles you couldn't make it to their destinations or got stuck on intersections in deadlocks. Then the success percentage, which is calculated from the lost vehicles in comparison to the arrived vehicles. You have the average fuel consumption, the less the better. Fuel consumption is determined by how smooth a car can navigate through traffic. So accelerating is not good. The car should just accelerate and then stay at the constant speed. Then average speed, the faster the better. Then travel distance, the less the better, obviously, and travel time, the less the better, and that's the score. The higher score, the better. This score is not very good. What else is there? You can, when you're in road building mode and you click on intersections, you get that menu here. That shows you the connections within an intersection. The auto builder does a really poor job, so we're going to try to do it by ourselves. What do the buttons mean? That is stand-in for help. The button with a question mark. The plus and the minus are for adding and subtracting ample phases. An ample phase is a phase for which there are oh boy, well let's just do it. Now we have just one ample phase. What that means is that the intersection will be static. This signal will always be green and the other 3 will always be red. Add 1, this one here, 1, and now we have 2, and the intersection will switch between the two states. This one is phase 0, in which this signal is green, and phase 1, in which all signals are red. And now we can say, for example, this signal should be green in phase 1, and now we have phase 0, this signal is green, phase 1, this signal is green. We can also switch other signals to green. There can be more than one signal per phase to be green. Alright, and then when we are within a phase, we can change the lanes that are available to the cars that start from the anchor points. So when they arrive at the intersection, if a car comes from down here and comes to this blue point, he can go do a U-turn to that to the blue point here, and he can go this way, and he can go this way, and he can go this way. If you right click on the red arrows, all those disappear, and then we can drag and drop. Unfortunately, there's no visual representation for that, and we have to sort of imagine it. Left click and hold and go to one of the dark blue circles and release, and you'll see there's there's a lane marking here, which should be red. That's probably a glitch or a bug. And also we can do this to the other stuff, to the other blue points. So, well, in that case, any car coming from down here could only go right or go straight. Okay, those numbers are the amount of time the signal will stay active, the phase will stay active. For example, if we switch this to 10, that means that the second ample phase will stay for 10 seconds, and the first ample phase here will stay for 6 seconds. The one below, the button below those, is what will happen when the phase is over. This symbol means that it will just switch to the next phase, which isn't good because there could be other cars on the intersection, and that means there will likely be a deadlock if the intersection is laid out that way. Then that means wait 1 time step before switching the other signals to green, wait 2, wait 3, and the last one is wait until the intersection is cleared by all cars before you switch to the next phase. Alright, what else is there? There's down here, this button is safe. If you hit that, the intersection will be saved for the according to the level you have loaded, and this one is exit. Well, and this is start again. Let's hit start again and see how we're doing now. Probably not good because those will always stay red here, those two signals. And let's see, let's wait for the score. Probably won't be good. 2.27, that's worse than last time, and we lost 23 vehicles of probably 50 or 40 or 40. Alright, I'll show you, I'll just restart that and show you a well-made intersection. This one, it's a circular traffic, and this one should net a good score. Let's see. There are a couple of idiosyncrasies with the cars and their movement and when they switch lane and how to decide when to overtake. All those are not like hard-coded, but I think it's the best way to do it right now. Right, the score is 3.126. That's a pretty good score, I guess. Okay, what else? I guess that's pretty much it. One other thing is you can... Alright, no, this wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, you can do... If you go from, for example, this piece of road with 2 lanes, one in each direction, to another piece of road that just has 1 lane or any number of different lanes, it will not recognize that unless you hit Alt on your keyboard, which means that it will force an intersection at the source point. And the other 4 keys that are not important but you can use is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and what that does is it determines the offset between the guide spline and the current road. So if I hit 1, you see that the... well, maybe I should zoom in a bit. By the way, zooming is the third mouse button down and mouse, and the movement the mouse up and down. So if I hit 1, you see that the offset changes, right? And if I hit 2, the offset changes in the other direction. And if I hit 3, the offset on the target point changes, and 4 changes in the other direction. If I hit E again, you'll see that I can change the tangent, and E again here, so like that. That's how you build more complex road connections. Okay, one other thing, if you hit control down and move the left mouse key, if you hit control, the left mouse button, and move the mouse, you can create a grid. to which the roads then will snap. If you build roads, they will snap to the grid points. And if you hit Control and the rightmost button on the grid will disappear again. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. If you want to try it, please go ahead, have fun, but as I already said, it's really not a great interface. It's made primarily to debug stuff. Anyhow, alright, see you, goodbye.